The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Discretion is advised.
Today is the day that our guest has been waiting for about over a year now. And I've heard through the grapevine that she's been counting the days since she would be welcomed back with open arms to this podcast. Wow. She's had a lot of roles since the last year. Things have been going good for you, but I have heard that this is what you've been most excited about. So I would like to take a second and welcome back our two-time champion now, Miss Anna Camp. Anna Camp.
Close enough, you know.
Welcome back, friend.
Thank you. I can barely speak because I'm so excited because it's been a whole year that I haven't really slept.
I know. That's what I've heard.
I've been like fiending to be back in the seat.
Has it been a year?
It's been a year.
It's been a whole year.
It was last February she was here.
Oh, wow.
A lot has happened.
Wow.
A lot has happened in a year.
For you.
Yeah.
We've been sitting here waiting for you.
Nothing's happened here.
For a whole
I've
year.
been waiting for you.
I know. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you. You guys, I will say, even though it's been a year, you both look exactly the same. And
Thank you.
you both
Oh,
look
thank God.
completely wonderful.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Between the two of us, who do you think looks better?
that's easy. Heidi.
Pointed right at me, by the way.
Heidi,
Thank
definitely.
you for that. I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming back.
Of course.
We
I'm
have a
so
lot to
excited.
discuss. Do you have any questions for us, or?
I guess my only question for you guys is, I don't have any.
Oh shit! I hate when the guests come unprepared to interview the hosts.
I have some for you.
Okay.
For you to ask.
So
I'm
you
just
ask
kidding.
you, great. Well, we can do that because we have limitless amounts of time.
I told you before we're going to keep this under 4 hours if that's okay with
That's
you.
okay, as long as we were just under, because I would
Great.
like to make things even.
Yes.
I want it on an even minute.
Okay.
I'm very OCD that
I like
way.
this, and I'm usually a even number person. So if we go over 2 hours, we have to go to 4 hours.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah,
we can all
that's
agree.
fine.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Agreed.
Cool.
Deal.
I do want to.
Drink. Cheers.
I want to thank you off at the top of the show for not bringing your horrible dog, who I have beef with.
What?
And she
Those
has
cute little dogs?
No, don't call it cute. There's
Wait,
one in
which,
particular.
Which one?
Let's talk about it a little bit.
The shepherd one?
Do you want to say the name, or do you want me to say it? 'Cause
I
you
don't
can
mind
barely
outing
even
that
say
little
it.
prick.
Do it.
Okay. His name is Hank, and we have issues. I met him as a puppy.
Yeah.
I came to your house when the litter was born.
Yep.
And I saw the glimmer in his eyes, and I was like, "Bro, I'm gonna get on with this dog pretty good."
Yeah.
And like I met him when he was a day old.
Literally, he hadn't even opened his eyes yet when
I know.
you met him.
I know.
Yeah.
know.
So he smelled you before he saw you.
And I made sure. And
Maybe that's why.
you guys
Does that
don't.
happen a lot?
You don't know this.
In your life, do people smell you before they see you, or is that just a dog thing?
I don't like the line of your questioning. I don't appreciate it,
Just
but I did
curious.
make sure when you guys weren't looking, he did smell all of me. I want it to be clear. But I really thought that like I'm gonna. He was like the only one of the litter that had his colorations. He's like a tan. At the time, I thought it was cute. Now I think it's annoying.
He's beautiful. He's a beautiful
gorgeous.
dog.
He was.
He was. We had 5 puppies, and 4 were girls, and they were all black and white. And then we had one little boy who came out who was brown, and he was like a big guy. We called him like the OG gangsta, Hankster the prankster. Like he was amazing, this puppy. But then, yeah, you came over and you held them, and you were being so sweet, and
It
you were
was
being
such
quiet. It
a
was
cool
a
day.
beautiful moment. It
'Cause
was wonderful.
I think it was the first time I'd seen you or Michael since COVID had started, kind of, right?
I think
first time I'd seen
so.
you in well over a year or something.
Definitely. It was the first time that you had come over to our house, too, which was really cool out in the desert.
Yeah, I
So-
drove 2 hours to meet this fucking dog. And the lack of respect that I get to this day from him,
Yeah.
Wait, so what happened?
It's odd, I will say.
it's hard to talk about because, like I said, I met him as a baby. I thought, like, I'm going to be Uncle Dan. This is going to be great. I love his parents, so of course I love this child. And then I met him at your apartment maybe a year and a half ago. Right? Was it that long ago?
I remember
maybe a year
it.
ago.
I remember it well. It was like maybe a little over a year, to be honest.
I can't talk about it, so if you could describe the scene for us.
Well, you are doing one of the awesome things that you always do, which is help us out, because you are the guy to call.
This one's for me.
Yeah.
I'm humble as shit, but this one is for me.
Take it.
Thank
You deserve it, because you have.
Let's do another one, actually.
You have gotten us in and out of some binds in our lives. And so you were coming up and you were helping, I think, bring up a dresser or something up the stairs.
Yeah, that was not a good fun time.
It's not a fun time, but you killed it. And you were so excited because you were going to see Hank again, right?
My boy had grown up quite a bit.
He's a big boy now.
Yeah.
He's like a little man. He's a little teenage dog.
Get ready for this.
You were going to welcome him with open arms, and he basically attacked you.
I swear to God, I expected face licks and jumping in my lap and like the dog doing where they hug you and they do the paw wrap.
Love that.
That's coming my way. I deserve that.
That's what I get every day. But for some
Don't
reason,
fucking rub it in my face. I don't know why
mean-
people like you choose to do that to people like me. You know what I mean? I don't know what that
Wait,
means.
I don't know what that means either.
how did he attack him? Did
He ran at
bite
me
him?
and was growling and showing his teeth. And when I would try to like get down and pet him, he would back up out of like immense fear and then charge at me again. And I couldn't get my loving hands on him to save my life. And it was like 40 minutes of me trying to like get down on his level and look in his eyes and
Yeah.
like lay on my back and try to give him
Yeah.
treats. And he was just like
Nothing.
paws up, finger out, just being a total jerk.
We had to hold him back. Really?
No.
Weird. It
That
was-
cute little dog?
Yeah. So this is what's going on. It's not. I just want you to know. Like, I do feel really bad about it.
You
but
should.
I
Because
do.
you can blame the parents in these kind of things.
Well, that's what everybody. Well, here's,
That dog's going to be a school shooter, and it's your guys' fault.
Oh my god!
oh my
too
God,
soon.
what would we do?
It's always too soon in this
always
country.
too
We would never let that happen.
No, thank you.
He listen, it's not just you. So
Are you
I
just saying that? I don't believe you.
No. It's been really bad. He's been biting people that
Tell
come
me
over.
more. Okay.
He doesn't like men. We've noticed very tall.
I don't like that he genders me either, actually. Come to think of it. For him to assume that I identify as a man, I don't appreciate that.
He doesn't like some women though too. So we don't really know what it is.
Okay.
But
I want to meet him now.
But this
just
is
to
the
see.
thing. This is the thing. So everybody always comes over and they're like, oh, he must have had some trauma, in his past because he's a rescue.
He's been babied
And
by
I'm
the
like,
two nicest people.
Actually, I've known him every day of his life because he came out of that dog because that's her son.
You guys
And
birthed him,
we
basically.
I pulled him out of Mira's body.
With her mouth, which is crazy.
That's what they said to do on YouTube, and I was like,
said it.
whatever they said to do.
Yep.
On TikTok, there's a whole
Seems
mouth
gross, but I'll
birthing
do it.
puppy thing. I can act it out right now, but I don't want to do that
do.
for you guys.
Please do.
Anywho, yeah, pulled him out of Mira's body with my mouth.
Wait, is it? Wait, is the other dog the mom? Your
Yeah,
other
Mira's
dog?
the mom.
Oh.
Yeah, so Mira got pregnant. She had a one-night stand.
Like a slut. Let's be
she
real.
was being a little party bitch. Am I right?
Yeah.
So we took her to a daycare center for one night for boarding before she was
Oh yeah, I
fixed.
forgot about that.
Before she was fixed. And we told the guy, we said, listen, I'm like punching this microphone. We told the guy, hey, listen, so our puppy isn't fixed. Can we leave her for one night? We have to go to LA. And they were like, you got it. We'll keep an eye on her. We won't let anything happen to her.
They pulled a train on that dog.
We got back to pick her up. And it was also my other dog was with her who has
She's
since
crying.
passed. She looked a little.
Oh, she really did? I was just
She
kidding.
looked a little squirrely.
She was all disheveled.
She had a little bit of hair. You know what I mean?
She's carrying her pumps.
Yeah,
She's got a cigarette in her
she had a
mouth.
cigarette. Her eyelash was dangling.
The walk
You
of
know what I
shame.
mean?
Her panties in her purse.
And I was like, are they okay? And Michael was
Little
like, yeah, they're
gruff
fine.
in
They had
her
a great
bark.
night. And I was like, okay. Couple weeks later, flash forward, her like boobs like start getting bigger, and I was like, well, maybe it's because she like was finally going through her heat, or like something's going on. They were kind of like dangling. And we are like up at a restaurant, and this guy like, is walking by, and they go, "Oh, when's she due?" And I went, "Huh?" I was like, "Oh no, my dog's not pregnant. Like my dog's not pregnant. That's a puppy. Like she's not
My
even
dog's a good girl. Excuse me,
she's
sir.
not even like a year old. Like relax. Okay, so whatever." Another week goes by, and my best friend comes over, and she goes, "Anna, is Mira pregnant?" And I said, oh God, you're not the first person to say that. So we put her on her back and I put my hands on her belly.
And she had a flashback.
And she,
Sorry.
I don't think it was on her back.
Okay. All right. Oh, they have their own style. I forgot.
Hello, honey, doggy style. Give me a break.
I don't know if she want to mix it up and do some missionary. You never know.
She's classic. For her first time,
It's
she's
true.
only going to know one position,
Yeah, that's
okay?
right.
And that's called doggy style.
She's going around the world. Go around the world.
Yeah. So we literally put her on her back and felt her belly, and there were rolling puppies. I mean, it was like it was packed, and I started to freak out. Took her to the vet that day. They did an X-ray, and they were like, "Yeah, so there's 5, possibly 6 puppies coming in like 7 days." And I was like, "Oh my God,
Holy crap.
What do we do? What
And
do we
by
do?"
looking at it, we think one of them might be an asshole. Actually,
Yeah, there's a big one
Look
in
out
there
for
that
this
has
one.
a total
Yeah.
attitude. So they did say, we can do it for you. We can have the birth here, but it's going to cost like a couple $1,000s. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that. And they said, well, you can do it. You just have to like YouTube it. And there's like a lot of videos out there. So I was
you're
like,
serious?
so what I did,
delivered.
so
was
what,
their advice.
what I did, yeah, that was their advice. And they said, she'll do it. She'll take care of it. She's a dog. Like she has animal instinct. She'll take care of it. And I was like, okay. So I was Googling this and these people were giving birth to puppies, cutting umbilical cords. They were like tying them off with dental floss, like making the puppies breathe, all of this stuff. And I was like, how am I don't know if I can
that
like
is
do this.
so much pressure.
You're telling me. So that day, Bonnie and I went to get like a kiddie
Bonnie, the
pool.
director? Bonnie?
Bonnie,
Oh,
yeah, Bonnie, she's the best. So we went and got a kiddie pool from Target because they said get like a little pool and put blankets in it. So at least we had that. Bonnie leaves. Michael, my boyfriend, who we all know and love, who lives around the corner here.
Swoon.
We love. He comes home the next day and I'm like, so there's going to be, in 7 days, we might have puppies. So our power is out in my house. We don't know why the power is out.
And is very poor. Let's be real.
I didn't pay. I don't like paying.
We're going to do a
like,
GoFundMe.
electricity. Fuck that.
Such a
That
hippie.
shit.
Such a
Yeah,
hippie.
Whatever, man. I'll make my own. Rocks and sticks. So he comes home and the power is out and the coffee maker won't work. And so I go, well, I'm going to go out and get us coffees. And then I can't get out. Obviously, the garage door doesn't work. So I have to walk to go get coffees.
Like a peasant?
Like a peasant.
Oh,
I'm
my
walking.
God.
So I have 2 coffees and I'm coming home and I'm like walking and I'm like a peasant. So I'm like, this sucks. I hate walking like a peasant. And Michael goes, where were you? When I walked in the door and I go, what? Like, what's wrong? Here's your coffee. You're welcome. And he goes, so Mira was sleeping over my head and her water broke. Her water broke on my head. It was literally the next day after we had taken her to the vet. The next day. And I go, oh my God. And I go, we don't have any.
I would put her down. With my hands. I would have choked her to death.
You guys, like, there's no power in my house. There's no power. There's no lights. Like, this is crazy. So I go, we don't have a bulb syringe. So we're supposed to get, like, all this material over the course of the week. And rubber gloves.
That's
and
called a bulb syringe?
That's a
dental
bulb
floss.
That's what that's
For the
called?
nose, it's called
Yeah.
I didn't
A
know
bulb
that until
syringe.
YouTube. So he rushes out. He goes to pick up these things. I'm like with Mira. I'm like walking around the house like cold sweating. She's like walking in circles like making the blankets do all these things. I'm in the bathroom and I'm like scrubbing my hands.
Scrubbing in. He's scrubbed in.
I'm scrubbing in. I'm like, Mira, it's all gonna be okay. We got this.
There's like that scene in Gone with the Wind. I don't know nothing about no birth.
I don't know babies, Miss Scarlett. So I'm sitting there and then I look back again and there is half of a dog. I'm all alone. There's half of a dog
thanks.
coming out of her vagina. And
God.
I go, no. And she, by the way, the vet said she would know what to do.
She's just walking
She's
around.
looking at me like this.
Help me.
Yeah, she's like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, oh God, she doesn't know what to do. So there's only a matter of minutes and seconds before they have to have oxygen, like as they come out, obviously. So basically I pulled the dog out. It didn't have a sack. This one for your face is amazing. They come out in little sacks. So
Wait, individually?
individual sacks.
No. Like a snack?
And usually
like Hershey Kisses.
like Hershey's Kisses, like Gushers.
Like you buy a bag of Hershey Kisses, but they're all individually wrapped
individually
inside.
wrapped inside.
And Mira is the bag of Hershey Kisses.
Yeah,
and the dogs are the Hershey
genius.
Kisses.
What
This
a
is just for the
Valentine's Day
idiots.
commercial.
Yeah, got you.
So usually the mom breaks the sack with her teeth, but this one didn't have a sack. Thank goodness.
So Anna used her teeth,
But
like we
this
talked about
dog
earlier.
this dog wasn't breathing, so I have to flip it upside down, and they said like rough it up, and so I was like roughing it up or something, like basically.
Wait,
like,
breathe!
no, really, and then it started to like cry, like cry bark, and I like cut its little umbilical cord and I tied it up, and then I like took a photo of it for Michael, and I said, "Get home now." It's like another dog in the house. It was wild. So he got home, and then it was 45 minutes in between each puppy.
Wow.
That long.
It's that long.
And there were 5 or 4?
They were 5.
Five?
They were 5.
And they all lived in all
And they all lived, and they all, but apparently, I think they might be all psychos.
You only kept one. You only kept
We
Hank,
kept
right?
Hank, but so we got animal control called on us the other day. Both puppies got animal control called on them separately. Can I tell you the story?
Are they Hellraisers?
I love them
They're
so much.
Hellraisers.
I want to meet them so
They're
much. Like,
Hellraisers.
oh my God.
So I got animal control called on me really for no reason. My neighbors are...
No, for no reason.
Well, they were barking. So Hank besides hating
She got
you,
Gwynethed. Yeah.
besides hating you, Hank loves to hunt birds. So he was in the backyard chasing birds, and he can get very loud. And my next door neighbors are like older, and they like take naps at like noon, and they're like,
does
"Oh
my wife,
God."
actually.
Well, I take naps sometimes too, but they said every single day between 12 and 3, if they hear anything. Like they've told us to turn our like light on our driveway. Like it's in my eye when I'm driving home, like it's stuff like that. Like you have ants in your yard. Like it's all these little things. So I got a letter from like the police saying that I cannot have dogs that are loud. But this is the thing, they never talk to me once to
but
like
yes, you
complain.
can. I mean, unfortunately, if people have dogs that bark, you can have that, right?
That's the thing. I always stop them, right? Like I always am like
Kick them or hit them or whatever just to set them up.
I threaten them that we're gonna take them to that daycare, and they're all gonna like, you know what I mean?
Do you guys want to go to the farm in heaven?
Yeah. So that happened, but also, so Michael's sister got one of the dogs named Mazzy. And apparently Mazzy is trying to like slit other dogs' throats and did.
What are you talking about?
So
With a knife?
Is happening?
He carries a switchblade? Hey, motherfucker. Give me your wallet.
thinks
You don't have one? Fine. Fuck you then.
She thinks she's in West Side Story. She's like da-da-da-da. But no, she bit this dog, an elderly dog that was living, like Michael's parents have some older dogs, and this dog Mazzy hates older dogs.
See what you've done? Do you see what you've done?
Mira did it. I didn't do anything. Mira had sex with it's a psycho. But it was really odd that we both got called animal control on us the same day from the same litter. Like that's weird.
Wow. This is a movie.
I want to make a crazy comparison. Have you ever seen Nightmare on Elm Street?
No.
Yes, the
Okay.
original, yes.
Do you know the backstory of who Freddy Krueger's father is?
I forgot, but I did know at some point.
So his mother was a nun,
Mm-hmm.
and she was locked in a room with 100 maniacs, and apparently was assaulted by all these 100 maniacs, and that made Freddy Krueger.
Jesus.
It sounds like that's what happened to your dog.
That's what I
That
was
might have
thinking.
happened.
Because Mira was locked in a place over just for one night.
One night.
When
One night.
we don't even want to think about what happened in there, but she was assaulted by some maniacs, and they made your horrible dogs.
And that's
Wow.
Animal Planet.
That's how it works, everybody.
It's the circle of life.
Yeah,
basically.
that's how it works.
Yeah.
My God.
Oh, and they're so cute.
They're so cute.
They're so cute. That's the other thing. They're very loving to me and Michael. Like extremely loving.
They're like con artists. That's how they pull you in, and then they hurt you.
Yeah.
They assault you.
They like cuddle and spoon and are loving and lovely. And then just any stranger or something, it's like I mean, where's Cesar Millan when you need him? Though I've heard some bad things about Cesar Millan.
So did I.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you do? What do
Yeah,
you
my
do?
mom was in love with him, and I was like, "No, mom, it's not."
Something would happen, right? I don't know.
Yeah, like back when the Me Too
Me
thing was
too.
happening.
Me too.
Yep.
Me too. Me too.
I forget
Caesar.
what.
Was he Me Too'd by a dog?
Yep.
Listen.
Anyway,
let's move on from the dogs
Okay.
because we do have
That's
things to talk
amazing.
about here. What?
One more thing.
one more
though.
dog.
Okay.
The fact that they come out in a sack.
Yeah.
So it's like a placenta, or it's like a
Yeah.
It's
What
like
is
a
it?
little
An amniotic sac.
amniotic sac that it's like clear and you can kind of like see the like dog in it.
Oh my God.
And it's like obviously filled with some fluid and it's like coated and whatever. And then it just kind of cracks open and it kind of disintegrates. And then like the puppy like rolls out of it and you're just
Life
like, this is wild.
crazy.
that's
Insane.
Are you traumatized at all by doing that, or is it more beautiful once they're healthy? Are you like, that was amazing, or are you like, I never want to do that again?
I don't want to do it again ever because I felt like I was gonna faint. I don't like blood or like getting shots or like if someone else.
I don't like getting shot. Me either. We're so similar.
So weird.
I also hate being shot.
so weird. I don't
being
either.
stabbed with a knife. I just don't like
We have
it.
so much in common. It's crazy.
So-
Stars, they're just like us.
Stars are just like, they hate being shot.
Anna is so down to earth. She hates being shot just like the rest of us. She's so
She
normal.
does her laundry.
My God. No, it really is amazing. Good for you guys for not. I mean, it seems like it'd be pretty easy to fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, I was scared that each one was going to be dead. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
really.
it's-
So
yeah.
honestly, at the point where they all started to breathe, I was like, oh, this is successful. Oh, like it's successful again. But I kind of went into shock for the entire, like how many hours it was because you just are like survival mode. Like, how am I going to make these things breathe if they're not breathing, and what are we going to do? And poor Mira did such a great job. She was just like loving her puppies so much and like taking care of them. And I think at first she was just completely shocked.
Yeah.
But then she had to go out and go to the bathroom, but she didn't want to. We had it by the window, like all the puppies, and she would go to the bath, but then she couldn't go, and she would check in, and then she would go a little further, and then she'd run right back to like make sure that they were okay. And then
Oh
she
my
would pee really
God.
quickly, like the fastest you've ever seen her pee, and then run back to her puppies.
Very cute.
It was adorable.
Oh my
How long did you have all 5 for?
We had them for like 8 weeks.
That's a lot of time.
A lot of time. A lot of poop.
I remember because we didn't see Michael for 2 months because he's like,
Yeah.
I'm just feeding dogs and cleaning up shit. That's all I do all
Oh
day.
my God. It was, I can hear their barks like in the morning around
little cute
5
little
a.m.
No, they're not
Little-
cute. They're not cute when you're trying to
No.
sleep.
It's really, it was a lot. And then we'd be on puppy duty, like baby duty. It was intense. So I
said
don't want to
duty.
do that again.
Dude.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to talk about the sack because it blows
No,
my
no, no.
mind.
It's really magical, actually.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I do want to talk to you about a movie you have coming out, but first, I do want to talk about also, you were in a play that in the last year, like it ended a few months ago. Is that
Yeah,
what it was?
we started rehearsals in October and then we opened like before Halloween and then we ran like basically through all of November into like a little bit of December.
So Dickless Darren, my wife and I, we came and watched it, and it was really really great. It was called 222, and how would you? I mean, it's a ghost story, but how would you give a quick synopsis of what it was about? Because it was really interesting.
Oh man, thank you for coming. First
I
of all,
loved
I
it. I
really
truly loved
appreciate
it.
it. Thank you. It was so I would say if you're like comparing like it to something, I would say it's like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf meets like The House on Amityville Horror or something like that. So it's a 4-person play and it's like these characters are being haunted, or at least one of the characters is being haunted or thinks she is by a ghost. And we all are having a dinner party, and the lead character played by Constance Wu, she also has a child and a new baby, and she thinks that something's gonna happen really bad to the baby. So it's just the night unfolds, and then you realize, spoiler, maybe one of us is the ghost.
It was really 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 well done. I don't really go to plays ever, and I would go to support anything that you did, but also the fact that it was like a horror story, because I love that kind of stuff. But it was so well done and had feelings of like The Sixth Sense almost a little bit, like notes of that. But the cast was so good.
Love what's his name?
Thanks.
The guy
Finn?
from Finn.
Is he the one that did the Boston accent?
No, that's Adam Rothenberg, who is my
okay.
favorite.
I have to, being from Boston, I am so hypercritical of Boston accents. And then seeing him, it was so perfect. And then I found out he's from London.
No, he's not from London.
He's
People
not from
think
London.
that he's from London.
I was told that by,
No,
I think your dumb boyfriend,
He
I
lives
guess.
in Ireland. Yeah,
Ireland.
he lives in
Uh-oh,
Ireland.
here we go.
But he's from New Jersey.
Oh. Less impressed, but still very impressed.
I mean, but his Boston was really good,
It
right?
was.
Wow.
Yeah, his Boston was killer.
Yeah, he was like my rock doing that play. We had a lot of awesome like scenes together, and I
So
was
good.
just like, every night we would do it, it would be different and exciting, and like I trusted him as an actor, and that's the cool thing where we
gotta
got
look
to
at
like
him.
push each other in ways that were really exciting, because you're doing it sometimes twice a day.
And that's also what I want to ask you about. Like I imagine like it must be such a different world doing stage as opposed to film or television, because you don't get to do it again.
No,
If
don't.
you, what's it called, going up when you forget a line or something, or
Yeah, like going up on your line, definitely. Yeah, like
did that happen at all during your performances?
not me on stage. I'm pretty much
Dialed.
I'm like dialed.
Yeah.
I'm like dialed the hell in. So that way it's not about the lines anymore. Like it's about like living as the person, and I can kind of forget what my next line is. It's kind of a tricky thing, but if you're so dialed in and you've rehearsed so much, you can kind of forget what you're about to say, and then it ends up just like coming out even differently, and it takes the play to like a whole new level and stuff. So
So that happens, and is that kind of encouraged to kind of like let things change a little bit performance to performance if it makes sense, or
it is definitely encouraged, and not every actor works that way. So it's interesting to act with people who don't really work that way, and as opposed to people who do. And it's not to say one's better or
No,
worse.
just-
I like the different thing. Like some people like to keep it very, we had our thing and we know it works then, so I'm just going to commit to doing it the way that it worked every time, and that's okay too. Like for some actors, I just like to. It's okay to fail, right? Because I
Yeah.
have like 500 more of these shows to do. So like if I make a choice because that old choice is getting stale, then fuck it. Maybe it's the wrong choice, but at least I tried it.
did you do that many performances?
We did so many. I mean, I don't have the number right now. Not that many, but it was a lot. It was a lot.
It was really, really great. I mean, we were just sitting there just so impressed by, I mean, just stage actors, how much you have to remember and just be in the moment and feel it, and just, it was so great. And the lighting and the sound was so great.
The music was really cool,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was cool.
Was a Massive Attack was kind of the thread throughout the whole thing, right?
Yeah, that was the writer. That was one of his favorite bands. So he had already kind of had the music in his head, I think, when he was writing this.
It was very good.
Oh,
Did you guys film any of it?
We
Was it ever
filmed the whole
filmed?
thing. It was
Oh,
filmed.
all of it?
Oh yeah, all of it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know where it is. It's in some like archival. Like I'll never watch it.
No?
No.
How come?
I've seen.
Well, you don't like watching yourself,
I
right?
don't like watching myself in general, but also like when you watch yourself on stage, it's just like you're like, whoa, like that's a lot of energy sometimes. You know what I mean? As opposed to like when you feel in the moment, because they always like tell
You
us like
have to-
our directors like their seats like at the Amundsen. I mean, it's huge, huge theater. So we have to like. That person up there has to see like how we're
Exaggerate
feeling.
your mouth and your body language and everything.
Yeah, so I don't want to see that.
Okay.
Adam Rothenberg is the PI in Ozark.
Yes.
Well, let me see it. Let me see that.
Yes.
Is that
oh
the
my
guy?
God, I love him.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He's fucking fast.
He was so
Yeah.
good.
Great.
He was so good.
Oh.
Everyone was great.
I wish I would have seen it.
But I was.
Oh, I
was,
wish you would have too.
Well, we invited her. She was supposed to come the
Yeah, I
night
had
we
to
came,
work
but she's
every-
like, I don't like Anna. I don't want to go.
No,
I'm like,
you were
"Ah."
reaching out to me that you were gonna
Yeah,
go.
I was
and
gonna
then-
go, and then there's a bunch of people I work with that went and saw it and were like in love with it.
Oh,
They're
no
like,
way.
yeah.
I mean, I imagine I knew a lot of people that went. It was a success. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
was it close to sold out every night? I feel like
It was basically sold out almost every night, and we had standing ovations every night,
That's gotta
Oh,
feel
that's
good.
awesome.
which is great, which is really cool. I mean, critically, some people liked it and some people didn't. But there's I'm just gonna say it right now. There's a critic for the LA Times named Charles McNulty.
You listening,
And-
Charles?
He's Probably. We know he is. I've done a theater work out in LA, and some of the best work I've ever done were in both of these plays, and he has not liked either of them. But I went to a play recently, I'm not going to say what that is, that I thought was not very good at all, and I was sitting behind him as he was critiquing it and like writing it down, and I was like, he can't be liking this. He can't be liking this. And then the review came out, and it was like a smashing success.
So basically, we know for sure that Charles has zero taste.
He's a bad opinion.
Yeah.
Bad.
Hey, Charles, guess what?
Chuck.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck.
He didn't like the screaming in the play, like the sound cues. He was
Always one of those.
But the screams were so, it was so specific and important to
Yeah,
the
it was
story. I mean,
Thank you. Thank
whole-
you.
Ghost
and
story.
Thank you.
the way the,
I would think.
well, and also the way the sound and the lighting, it was used as cues to make you scared and to jolt you back into this moment. That's the whole point of it.
It was really intentional and like
I'm not even
really
very
specific.
smart, and I know
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
I feel like I've waited on Charles McNulty a bunch.
Probably.
The next
But it really was great, and I hope.
Thank
are
you so much.
Do you
I
plan on
appreciate
doing
it.
more theater stuff at some point?
Always. It's my first love. It's like where I've started working in New York, and it's like where I'm the most happy. is
And
what
I
I'm
was in a
doing.
play with my uncle.
Really?
Yes, Tony.
Let's talk about that.
Tony Shalhoub.
What was the play?
Oh my God. The funnest, craziest play. So it was called The Scene.
Like SCENE or SEEN?
SCENE, and Teresa Rebeck wrote it. And it was one of my first jobs. I'd actually played the part at the Humana Festival in Kentucky, and then I had to like re-audition when I came to New York, even though I had done it, because they were like, "Who's this girl?" And so I did. I re-auditioned, and it's basically another 4-person play, but it's about the like New York scene and how people are like just sort of tearing each other apart to like get the next job, and like it's like a really kind of about the entertainment industry. And I played this really, you would think at first, really dumb blonde, but actually everything
Good
that
casting.
everything that she says is actually genius. And Tony Shalhoub and I end up having an affair. So he's married to Patricia Heaton in the play, and she comes home and finds us full on fucking.
Wow.
Intercourse?
Full on. Like, so it was a wild, crazy, amazing scene. And I don't want to leave the house. So Patricia, the wife, is like, "What do you like? Get her out of here!" And I go, "Wait, no! Like, I was
Oh,
invited here."
you're the one who's cheating with, and you don't want to leave the home.
Oh, that's
well,
amazing.
I was invited here.
Squatters' rights. I mean, yeah.
And like I would get audible, like the audience, like people would be like talking to
get
me
out
on
of here.
stage. Like it was amazing.
Did you love that?
I loved it.
'Cause you're
I
upsetting
loved
people?
it. Yeah. And I remember I like the last part of blocking when I actually do end up leaving that scene is I take my thong off the coffee table and I like walk out. And a couple times I got exit applause and I was like,
Hell yeah.
okay. But some of the older women were like, "Oh my!" In New York, they're like, "Oh my God!" You know,
This little trollop.
yeah, on a Sunday matinee, honey, it was always a different thing. Every character I've ever done on stage, actually, Sunday matinees are not. They're not for my characters. Like even in 222,
I think that's
when
when
I
we
was
went.
like,
That's what we said.
We did a Sunday matinee.
"You saw a Sunday matinee?"
I think
Okay,
we did. We were. It was at I think it was the last day of it.
yeah,
Second or first or second.
maybe,
you know.
maybe that was a good show though. I think you
It was
guys saw
great.
a
Really
good
good
show.
I mean, we would know. I have nothing to compare it to, but it really was wonderful.
Sometimes like I was like drunk Lauren, you know,
That was
drinking
my question.
again. And
I want to
yeah.
ask you that.
Yeah.
So in it, you drink a lot.
A
in it,
lot.
like a lot. I'm worried about you. Were you drinking?
I was drinking like colored water.
So it wasn't really wine.
No, I wouldn't have been able to stand up after I chugged that entire glass of red like that. Like
Well,
no
that being
way.
said, I'm even more impressed because also playing drunk is that's a tough one to get right. And it was like I'm like I know that chick. I know a lot of girls
Yeah.
like that.
I loved playing it, and it was actually my main concern about this was making it feel really real.
It did.
And never acting drunk, but just having that. And I think because I've been drunk so often, you know, it really kind of just
She
happens.
really has everybody.
No, but that was I appreciate the compliment because it isn't easy,
Mm-hmm.
and it definitely, you know, I hoped to make it look real. So
I remember reading Heath Ledger was talking about playing the Joker, and or was it maybe it was Joaquin? One of them said that the cool thing about playing him is that you're a crazy person trying to not act crazy, and that's the key. And I think drunk is the same way, where you're drunk but you're trying to act like a drunk person who's not trying to show that they're drunk. Do you know what I mean?
So true. It's like trying to hold it together,
I'm
and then
fine.
not being able to.
Right.
That is the key, because exactly. Just like I think holding back as an actor like that, or also like trying to keep your emotions down. Like if you're really sad and you're like, but I'm not going to show them that I am. That's more interesting to me than when you really do like crack and you start to emote or something. Then you've seen the person and the character struggle with something, right? So yeah.
Because everyone in real life, you don't want to cry in front of people.
every day.
No.
I'm watching you going, I know. Like,
Would you like some
You're
bread?
really feeling it. You're feeling what I'm saying.
Can I
right?
refill your water?
Do you have a preference in water?
It's basically how I live my life every day.
Right.
So
Heidi takes orders with her back to everybody.
It's easy for me to do that.
Okay, so we're really here to talk about your new film, and I would like to get into it. Heidi and I watched it last night. It's called From Black, and last time you were on the show, you were just about to go film it, I think.
I think so, yeah.
And you were excited because you hadn't done like a horror film. You've dabbled in it with like Creepshow on Shudder, and True Blood is that. Is it horror-y
there
or
were
drama
some vampires, like we had some. I mean, it's definitely some horror.
Has some vibes, but you've never done a straight-up horror movie before.
No.
And you're excited about it because I know that you were trying to. Pitch Perfect was a whole force that is like unavoidable to get away from. But you've made a conscious choice to kind of like do other things.
Yes.
And kind of just show that you can do other things. And you did.
Oh
You did a
God.
great job in this
Thanks.
film. We watched it last night, and directed by Thomas Marchese.
Thomas
And
Marchese.
Jessup Flower is another co-writer.
Yep.
Really great job. I don't think they've done a whole lot before.
No,
few
Thomas.
things. Directed a few
Thomas
things.
has directed a documentary called Fallen about police force, and he's an ex-cop.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he's an ex-cop who's been through some incredible things, and wanted to make this horror movie. He's also like a digital artist. He makes incredible, like really dark, like demonic kind of cool fairyland. Like you should follow him on Instagram. It's like incredible digital artist. But yeah, so this is one of their very, very, very first things, and I read the script and I thought it was awesome.
It is. So what's the movie about? If let people know what the movie's about.
Sure. So just like a quick little, it's about, I play a woman named Cora who is a recovering drug addict, who, while she was under the influence, like 5 years prior, her son Noah goes missing or is kidnapped or something. She doesn't know. So we flash forward 5 years later, and she's in this kind of AA group meeting, and she meets this guy played by John Ailes, who's
unbelievable.
unbelievable. I love him. And he offers me this really weird, crazy, bizarre opportunity to get my son back through this kind of ritualistic witchcraft, black magic, seance type thing. And at first Cora I'm very skeptical of this because I'm like, what is that? Like, this doesn't work. This isn't going to happen. And then slowly as we perform each ritual, I start to see that this is real, and that I start to get very excited that I could actually, make something right, like make up for my mistake and actually see my son again.
Yeah.
So that's basically the movie.
That's one thing that you mentioned that I love so much is that in a lot of these movies, the character that you play would usually be like all about it from the beginning. I'll do whatever I can do. But you have such skepticism in it. And your character is actually quite funny.
Oh, good.
In some way, like, I felt like I really knew who she was. She was like, she struggles with addiction, but she's not a dummy. She doesn't want to believe this like kind of nonsense. I'm not giving too much away, but
Oh no, it's great.
you're such funny moments in it that are nice to see in a horror movie because
That's
it made
good.
it feel very, very real.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Thank you for saying that.
Of course, but the cast was incredible. Everyone in it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is that I laughed because when you were like, okay, I've done it. All right.
It was really, really funny.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna ask you a question. After you filmed some of those scenes, were you able to sleep? Because I was gonna say, because I could not. I was so
She had a tough time
tense last night when I got home. It was insane. Like, how do you do?
Yeah, I actually, so we shot in Natchez, Mississippi.
Oh, jeez.
I love Natchez.
Have you been there?
No.
I was like totally.
But I'm going.
I like totally believed you. I was like, oh my God.
That's where we summer. I mean, come on.
I have never.
Nice
been
cottage down there.
Creepy as it is, kind of out in the country, it's beautiful, but like
it's creepy. It's one of the oldest. There's one of the oldest dive bars in all of Mississippi on the Mississippi River. Like I could walk to the Mississippi River at my little weird house that I was staying at, which was across the street from like the production house, which is another house with like wraparound porches and
fun.
But I was staying by myself for the most part, and I had a hard time sleeping after shooting some of these scenes, but I didn't live where John Ailes lived. So John Ailes lived in a little house that they were like, this is the other Airbnb that we have, let us know if it's going to be too weird. It's okay, we can find you another one. He was living directly across the street from the graveyard.
Oh, good Jesus Christ.
I love it. Oh my God.
Directly across the street, and he would take photos. He said he would go through walks, and there was actually an amazing story. There's a grave that people go visit at this particular graveyard where a little girl had died, like very young. Oh my God. You are so mean.
That's for you, Hank. All right, go ahead.
Oh my God. A little girl had died.
Anna, please keep it together. Act like you don't hear it, okay? Act like you don't hear it.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm like having flashbacks
listen,
to
she
like
can't hear
third
it.
grade where I like said something in class and they're all like, ah, I'm not gonna
What'd I
sleep
say?
tonight.
I forgot.
Yeah.
That's how we bonded, because
Yes.
I was picked on as well.
That's
okay.
what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, totally. We're both gonna have panic attacks in a minute.
Come on, losers, pull together.
Let me just tell you about
Sorry.
this little girl's grave. Good God. There's a little girl that died. Don't laugh. And her mom missed her so much that she built stairs down into the grave and put a window there. And the little girl was so afraid of rain and thunder. So the mom would come with an umbrella and she would sit by her dead child's grave.
Oh my God, I
Don't
have to
laugh.
go there.
And so John would go, and it was very fitting, actually, that it was while we were shooting this movie about a little boy that had been missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it was really, really wild. But I think he had a harder time sleeping than I did.
Oh my God.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
They asked me if I wanted to stay there, and I was like, hell no.
No, put me by the Mississippi bar, please.
Yeah, put me by the dime bar.
Spend time with the mighty miss.
Thank you.
I also have a question. I don't want to give too much away, but in the scene where, can I say like that you're being scared by something?
Yes, you
Like,
can say
is
that
in
because
your
that's in the
face?
trailer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's in the trailer.
Is that a real person that's doing that, or is it digital? Did they do it like
It's a real guy.
That was practical
that's
effects.
dressed up like that?
That was practical. So we had a makeup artist who actually worked on
Like
on
Guillermo del
Creep
Toro?
Show
Oh,
Creep
really?
Show. Yeah, who came like I wish it was Guillermo del Toro.
Well, the thing we're talking about
looked like-
has that
Yeah.
spirit
No,
of
yeah.
that kind of.
That's what it. Yeah, like Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
like
what we said.
That's when I told Thomas, like once we were shooting, I was like, this has a Pan's Labyrinth kind of like quality
cool.
to it. But no, that was a real guy who would be in makeup, and you know they would put like this slime in his mouth and his teeth, and he couldn't see. He couldn't see. He couldn't see at all. But he learned. It wasn't just a stand-in. Like this guy learned all the lines, and then said the lines, and they were gonna get a new voice, but instead they didn't. They liked the way he said it so much that they just amped it.
Oh, that's his voice.
That's his
So
voice on the
good.
day
Was
doing
it,
that.
Was it pitched down at all?
It's pitched down and
It's
it's
really
kind
well
of like
done.
reverberated a
Yeah.
little bit,
I
but
have
they
little
didn't.
chills. It's
And like he would come up like behind my neck. And that one shot where he's in my face, like they wanted to recreate the
Alien.
like alien
I
shot.
knew
Yes.
it. I knew it. I have it on my notes.
Yeah, so Thomas was like, so this is what we're gonna go for, and I think it's one of the best. Like on the big screen, like if you guys ever get to see it on the big screen, it is really cool.
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
really cool.
It was a very, very I mean, it wasn't a very subtle nod, but it made sense in the movie. It was a nice nod to Alien.
So
Yeah.
good.
It was very, very
One of
well
his
done.
favorite movies of all time.
Come on.
So
if you're going to be making these kind of movies, I mean, Alien's up there in the top 5 all
Yeah.
time.
Also, just one more thing, and then I'll be quiet.
oh, don't ever be quiet.
Okay, good.
Don't tell her she's supposed to be quiet. I told her.
sorry.
She gets 2 questions to show for every guest, and it's time to shut the fuck up.
Wait, I have 2 more questions. What
Whoa,
did
whoa,
you
whoa, whoa.
what did you eat when he was
Oh,
like?
wait, can we talk about? I mean,
What did you have for breakfast?
We can talk about it. We can talk about it. Oh God.
I want to know because I.
There's a scene in the movie where there's a dinner party, one would say. I don't know. You know, it's an
like a
interesting
brunch.
dinner party, like a brunch. like, we're brunching. Just a couple
it's
of
very
girls.
it's super cool.
Couple of girls. And so what I did end up eating was tuna sushi.
Oh, I was like, is it watermelon? Is
No,
it
it's tuna.
pieces of dog placenta that she took from home?
And then here's the thing, like
You just heard me. Took a second.
that was like an after.
Your brain's like, no,
Yeah.
but your heart let it in.
My heart let it in, and so did my taste buds
Yep.
and all sorts of things.
Hank,
Oh my God, Dan.
Whatever. Grow up.
Yeah, tuna. It was like raw tuna sushi, but sushi in Mississippi is different.
How was?
And
I mean,
sushi in Natchez,
you guys are
Mississippi
spoiled.
is different.
Oh, so spoiled.
Yeah. So the first time it didn't really bother me, but then they had to do another take, and I was like, "Does anybody have any soy sauce I could like barely dip this in?" And they were like, "No, sorry." And I was really dehydrated because I've been doing a lot of crying and running in the rain like the night before, so I was drinking a lot of green Gatorade.
Oh my god!
And then I had to have whatever I drank after that, which was like chocolate syrup mixed with like blood dye. So I had like green Gatorade, tuna. It was really
you're eating like the way I eat, just like complete garbage and nothing that makes sense.
Also, just one more. The scene where
Just one more.
like two hours later, I'm like, okay, just one more thing. The scene
Just 17 more
where-
things.
I'll take it.
The scene where you go, like you get to that moment where you get to see what happened. Holy fucking shit!
Yeah.
That had like it was so intense. That was amazing. That was
Very
really cool.
Whoever the
scene.
DP is
Thank
too,
you.
like everything was
Yeah.
just
Duncan
so.
Cole. Duncan Cole from
Very
New
good work,
Zealand.
Duncan.
I'm obsessed with Duncan Cole. I want Duncan Cole to shoot every movie.
There's a really
So
beautiful
cool.
kind of over the shot thing with you that we don't have, but it was just like just beautiful and emotional and just
Oh, so good.
very, very thought out and
Thank
very
you.
well executed.
Jessup Flower actually wrote that entire sequence.
Wow.
And Thomas Marchese, Jessup Flower, yes. Thomas Marchese said that he didn't touch it. He didn't change a
Wow.
single thing.
Good.
Because it was so moving. And
I've never
yeah.
I've never seen a movie like that before. Like that goes back and like I don't know. It was really so fucking cool.
Oh, cool.
I'm excited
So
for you.
I
I
liked it.
think
It's
the
powerful
feedback is
the
going
way
to
they
be.
do it.
I think the
Yeah.
feedback is going to be very good
I hope
for this
so.
movie.
And then Jen, that
Jen
plays your
LaFleur.
sister,
Love.
I've known her because she was in a movie that I was a scriptie on, and I've known her and her husband Ross forever.
So I feel like last
So
night it was like
cool.
you're
They're
hanging
the
out with your
best.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
They're
nice.
really great. Jen is really talented and incredible, and she also like brought her daughter Alma on set, who is this little angel of a little girl, and she like loved John Ailes. She'd be like, "Uncle Johnny."
He's so cool looking, by the way. He's like
so
handsome.
cool looking.
His like beard and his hair was so cool. I'm like, I want to be this guy, but not with the problems he has in the film.
Also,
at
the
times.
guy that plays your like
The
other
boyfriend.
Yes.
he's hilarious. and
Hilarious.
so good.
This is the thing. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like you and him, especially, just felt like such real people, like normal people that I feel like we know.
That's
And
cool.
it wasn't like cliched horror characters.
That's
It
great.
felt like human beings, which was really nice.
Yeah.
Travis Hammer played my ex-boyfriend.
That sounds like
Wyatt.
a porn name, by the way.
Hammer.
Let's be
Tell me
real.
about Travis
Travis
Hammer.
the Hammer.
Dirk Diggler is Travis Hammer.
Come on,
Amazing.
baby.
Yeah.
He at the screening that we had, every single line got giant laughs.
It's so good.
Because it's so good. And that was so can I tell you a little bit about Travis Hammer?
Please,
while we're here?
please.
Okay. I adore I love him.
We are fans now.
Okay, of Travis Hammer. So
Not you, of him.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, of
yes.
course. Well, I mean,
Obviously.
I'm just here to promote Travis Hammer.
That's
from Black,
why we invited you.
basically.
Thank you.
So he's actually here.
Come on in, Travis. Anna, please leave.
Okay. So I met him and at the table read, and I saw his tape. Actually, they let me see his tape, and he had these like really fucked up teeth, you know. And they were like, "Is this guy like just straight off the street? Like, what's going on? Like, how did this guy, you know, have these teeth?" And then we go to the table read, and he's like not making eye contact really with anybody, and he has the teeth again. And I'm like, wow, this guy is like the real deal, like so authentic. And then finally we're on set, and he like pops his teeth out. He had gotten these teeth made.
Wow.
Like basically like hillbilly. I don't know how you
On
want
his
to
own,
call
yeah.
it. He got them made for the audition.
Well, it was like methy type teeth.
Yeah. And like
Right?
totally changed his whole thing. And then when he takes them out and you're talking to him, you're like, oh my God, he's like a totally different person. He was also, it was his idea to bring the ham. To eat ham in that scene.
That was amazing. That was very
Hanging out of his mouth. Very well
You know?
done.
And he's like, "What's up, lady cop?" No, like
So
he's
good.
so good. He's incredible
So
and
good.
such a wonderful actor.
And
movie-
when he walks in the house, he was like, "Oh, gee," like
Every
whoa,
time,
what
can
happened?
I tell you an outtake of that? So he would come in and say a different, like talking about actors that I like mixing things up. He would come in every time with a different thing to say. Like one time, and I'd be sitting there in the hallway with my hair like over my face, like just laughing my freaking ass off, like trying not to move, like really supposed to be like, you know. And he'd be like, "What's up, Cora? Oh my God, what up? Clean up on aisle your whole fucking house." And that didn't make it in the movie because it was too funny.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, the movie, it does it's a difficult job to balance comedy and horror movies. Like one over the top part can truly ruin the whole thing. And this was done so delicately and perfectly. And I mean that sincerely. Like I'm very critical about.
I know. I
horror
was
movies.
so worried coming over here today because I was like, oh God. I mean, it's okay if you don't like. It's okay. It's not for everybody. Like I get it, but I know that you are.
Yes.
You know, a critical horror fan.
Yes, and
so-
I want our
stressed.
listeners go see this film. Go see From Black. It opens April. I mean, by the time you see this, I think it comes out tomorrow, April 28th. Right?
I just want
Is
to
that
stay in
day?
that fucking circle.
Okay.
Because he's like, whatever you do, don't leave the circle. And then you left it, and I was like, oh shit.
I know the shit
Things
hit
are gonna
the
go
fan.
bad.
The shit hit the fan when I left the freaking circle.
You don't know this, but I was recording audio of you talking.
Stop.
And you're like, I missed the beginning where you're like, get in the fucking circle. Get why in the don't leave the circle. But I have a couple of moments of you being like, why is she leaving the circle?
You have to put that in. You have
Can
to
I?
put, yes.
Okay.
I was so stressed
throw it
for
in.
you. I was
I'll
like,
play-
oh,
Mr. Van
man.
play a
Can we
second
hear
of
it
it.
now?
We can play a second of it,
A
yeah.
second of it.
And you know what the best is though is that I love when I watch like Tony stuff and I forget who he is and not that we're like best friends, but like when I watched it and I just don't realize like you're so good.
Oh, thanks.
Everybody's so fucking good in it that
Thank you. That means so much
You know,
to me.
loved it.
I don't love to
Appreciate
give
it.
you compliments, but you really are a great actress. For real. You are a great actress.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see you doing stuff like this.
Thank you. I'm
Serious
really
and-
like working to steer the ship into things that I really want to do. You know, I loved Pitch Perfect. I was a thing that I auditioned for.
Of course. It
You
opens
know,
so many doors.
It opened a
and
lot of
course.
doors, and I'm so grateful. But like, I've evolved as a person, and hopefully as an actor. You know, and so like, I appreciate you guys supporting me
Yes.
and getting the word out because it means a lot to me.
Of course. Let's hear Heidi for a second. wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Back up.
Oh my God, if I hear that fucking gasp again.
She's not in the circle.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, where's the funny stuff? Right around.
She says, "Oh, geez."
Hold on one second.
Fucking hop back in there. Jesus Christ.
In the circle?
Yeah, in the circle. Get in there.
Get in there.
fucking hop back in there.
Get in there.
You're fucking hot back in there.
Hop back in there.
Heidi was she was like in there with you.
I'm a control freak.
She was like a life coach of like, she's got to get back in the circle.
Get back in there.
Oh my
Like
god.
your southern drawl.
Also,
I love it.
we had captions on because we didn't want to miss anything.
Right.
And so you sent us you're very nice to get us a link, a private link for the movie, which doesn't have the professional captions
No.
put in there yet.
Not
Can
yet.
I talk about what was just
I mean,
just
I
what
think
was
we
said?
have to. I think we have to.
So we're watching and we're so like we're focused on this movie. We're into it. We're paying attention. We're taking notes.
Yeah.
And there's a scene with you in the kitchen with John Ailes, and a very serious moment. And what pops up on our screen is you saying, "Why is there so much sadness in your ass?" And Heidi and I, at the same moment, we just start losing our shit. At like, that can't be. What?
I looked at him and I was like, "Is that what she said?"
It's like, no.
Ass? Why would he have said?
But you have a little bit of a southern draw, and obviously you're trying to say is, why is there so much sadness in your eyes? And this fucking thing. Why is there so much sadness in your ass? Which we might call this episode. I don't know what we're gonna call it.
We have to call it. Why is there so much sadness in your ass?
That- For real, I
And
know
what does that look like?
the posters are probably already made, but that should be the tagline. That really should be the tagline for the movie on the posters.
Why is there so much sadness in your ass? I'm gonna send that to John Ailes. He's going
Please.
to he's gonna projectile shoot laughing tears
We lost
out
our
of his
shit.
face.
Just imagine if that was on the poster, how many people would go see this movie? Like,
I mean,
what's in his ass? We
Why-
gotta go. What could
I
it be?
wish Shudder had
sadness.
consulted with you guys.
So
There's still
good.
time.
There
still
is time. We got a couple
we have
weeks.
a couple weeks before it comes out.
Listen, give me Shudder's number.
So
I'm gonna work it out.
Great.
Let me work out the
I'll
deal.
text you and we'll figure it all out because
Also,
that's genius.
when you were like, when Jen was taking your when she was taking you in the thing, and you're like, you flipped off.
Yeah.
Very real.
Oh yeah, very real, very real. There's also some behind the scenes of that where like I've like flip off the cop and then like they're filming me like BTS like as I'm coming around the corner, so I was like doing that and then the camera's there and then I went like. We had some actually really funny BTS. There's a moment where like John is putting the chain around my leg or whatever, and I'm like very skeptical at this point. And I'm like, what the hell is this for? And
funny.
John is like standing up and he's like doing the thing, and all of a sudden his microphone from like production's microphone like falls out of his body, and I went there and I'm like, what the fuck, dude, are you recording this?
Good.
And the whole set fucking went wild because this is a dramatic movie.
I want to make it clear. This is not a comedy. There's some very brief moments where the characters have some funny moments, but it is by no means a comedy.
No, not at
No,
all.
But
no.
there's a couple moments of lightness that are not like over the top. Like it's not like Naked Gun, but it's like some very good human moments.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. I'm glad it's not exactly
Sexual assault
like
with a
Naked
concrete
Gun.
dildo.
We're not exactly Naked
No.
Gun.
It's basically Naked Gun 3, if we're being completely honest. Anna plays Frank
Oh my
Drebin,
God.
and it's
No,
great.
there are some funny scenes though, like that, but we were trying to keep it balanced because if it was just like, oh my God, grief, it's a story about grief and guilt and
Loss,
shame
and- yeah,
and
of
loss and going through all of this stuff, and it's like personal turmoil, right? So in the movie, like if every scene was that, my God, it would just be like just too much. It would take too much out of you. So we tried to have some balance and
Well, that's like grief and humor, like or wait,
Yeah.
You have to
what-
make-
what
of
they
course.
say,
You have to
like,
have both to
tragedy
have-
and
The only
one of
reason
them
I'm alive
exists.
is because
Yeah.
making jokes of things that I've experienced in my life. It's the only way to
Me
keep
too.
moving.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I love too where it had like each time it had like the grief and it had the
Chapters almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
So
a
cool.
obviously something you mentioned is that you go to these like grief groups in the film. Did you ever go to a grief group to get an idea of what it was like, or have you been? I mean, did you go to do any kind of research on grief groups?
I didn't go to a group, but I have experienced grief in my life, and I've read a book about it. It's called When Things Fall Apart.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite books.
It's a really
That's how she lives her life.
I read it every day. It's so good.
I have it by my bedside table because
Yeah, same.
whenever something like that, something happens, it's just like a rock to go back to and can ground me. So I had that book with me I mean, I've been to like group, like not wakes, but like some people that I've known in my life have passed tragically, and I've been in a situation where, you know, we've all sat around in a circle and shared things and like looked at one another for help, you know. And so I'm a much more open person than Cora is, for sure. I want to reach out. I want to also help people. She's terrified because she's so terrified of being judged.
Well, she has so much guilt.
So much guilt. So much
it.
guilt. Yeah. And she's always messing up. That's why when she does go out of the circle, like, she's a fuck up.
Yeah.
She's even a fuck up in the end. And that's why she's still in, well, I don't want to give too much of away.
Yeah.
But she's still, like, at the end of the day, she's a fuck up.
A human being, by the way.
A human being.
I mean, you know, but like that's
but
people
there's
are flawed.
we're not putting a bow on it. There's no real happy ending here of this movie, which I think makes it like when you watch it and the end happens, you're like, wait, what just happened, right?
Yep.
And it makes you go back and think. But yeah, we want it to be kind of this open-ended thing where you can talk and think about the characters and what they mean to you, and what, like, oh, she fucked up, she should have done something differently, or I would have done this, or whatever, and just like invoke conversation. So,
Absolutely. Well, it's very, very,
That
very
it
well
did.
done.
good.
So good.
Do you, after doing this, do you still want to do more horror things or more heavy dramatic things? Did you enjoy stepping into that world with this?
100%. I mean, I know that a lot of people, you know, are maybe skeptical. Maybe some people believe in me. I don't know. But I've never really gotten the opportunity to do a film like this. And I hope that people see that I can do it. I was never scared. You know what I mean? I was never like, oh, I can't do this. It was always like, I was ready.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do something like this for like 10 years.
It was nice to see you not in this like super wholesome, you know, situation. And that's kind of how you were in the play as well. It was nice to see that, just like a wild person. But this one is just, you're a flawed, scared, overwhelmed, sad human being.
Bring
But
on the
The
complex.
one day in the
That's it.
fucking circle.
Which
Yeah.
has to be so much more fun to play someone like that.
Yeah, it's really rewarding
Yeah.
as an actor at the end of the day, because I mean, I'm an actor, you know, I don't ever want to be a one trick pony. You know, I've never thought of myself that way. It's just Hollywood has thought that way.
Well, sure.
So now I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least
yeah.
I'm like getting people to believe in me, you know, and give me these roles. So
This will only help.
Yeah.
thank you. My
Yeah.
God, it's been trying to break out of these like golden handcuff kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because even in True Blood, you played like a goody sort of. I mean,
she was baddie, but she was a
but
goodie.
like a good like.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that character so much.
Thank you.
We know.
I know. I loved her too.
I rewatched your last episode before,
you
and like,
did?
I love how much you love True Blood. It was like you
great
loved
Oh,
it.
I
yeah.
love. Well,
Loved it.
because my friend Gianna worked on it
Gianna
too. And
Sobel, I love
yeah,
her.
and I just saw her recently, and she went from being his assistant to actually like writing an episode and like producing it.
You never
So I
know
love-
where your career can
That was a
go
great
when you're
show.
in these kind of things.
Yeah, that's the thing. And also on True Blood, that show in particular, they were so accommodating and supportive about having people work their way up, which was really
Oh,
great.
that's cool.
And really loyal to their actors too, which was incredible, and always bringing people back. Like I was only supposed to be in season 2.
Oh, really?
Only supposed to
And
be
then
in
you did
season
2
2.
more seasons,
And then I
right?
did 2 more seasons.
I mean,
Yeah.
her character, you have to watch it. Oh my god, just for
Fine.
her, it's so good.
It's fun.
It's so good.
I know in music, I feel like it's hard to move up the ranks in music, and I feel like in entertainment, people also want to hold you down because
do.
they want to hold on to that powerful spot. So
Yeah.
the fact that there's people that are trying to lift you up is. What do you think about? I saw that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck started a new company where it's a production company where
Are they looking for help?
probably,
Do
but
they need to hire us?
all the profits are shared with the actors. Like the more money they make, the more the actors and all the crew make.
No way.
So
That's amazing.
the everyone in the crew, every single person gets back end on the movie
So they
on
get
the on the
points
money.
That's so
Yeah.
smart.
So
That'll
like you get your
help.
salary, you get your salary, but if the movie's a massive hit, the grips and the riggers, they all get more money.
So talk about like the morale on that set. Like
Yeah.
That's what I
everybody
mean.
giving 110. That's
That's
great.
that's what I mean. I want to see more people doing that kind of thing, profit sharing with like usually if Tom Cruise does a movie, he gets all kinds of back end shit.
Yep.
Obviously,
Of course. That's
but
how they negotiate like his deal or
But
whatever.
the person who drives him to set, that they
Nothing.
get their couple $100 a day or whatever
Sure.
it is. But I'm pretty sure that everyone in that new company, if you worked on the film, you have a piece of it going forward.
So cool.
That's so
Great.
smart and really incredible, and I hope that more people
Yeah.
start implementing that. Because
But I guess it's also easier done when you're Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, who don't need to make many more dollars.
well, my
you know what I mean?
production company too is
Oh,
gonna
yeah?
have that for sure.
Do you have a production company?
I do
Oh
have a
wait,
production
you
company.
produce you're a
do?
producer on this movie, aren't
I
you?
am a producer on this movie.
And what does
Yeah.
that mean? What do you do as a producer on From Black?
So I was an executive producer. So I basically was there on set all the time, helping with scenes and like saying no to this and yes to this. And they were just asking for my input a lot more on this movie. So I'm starting to do more of that kind of thing. So the last movie that I shot was like a stoner comedy. I was also a producer on that. I'm also like developing a thriller. Just had a meeting today about a thriller that's been in the works for 4 or 5 years. I optioned a book, and now we finally have the script written.
Are we living in Anna Camp's world now? Is it about to be a renaissance for Anna Camp?
And it's starring Hank, and Hank is playing.
Forget it!
Oh
It's gonna suck.
And the sacks come out and they're like, they don't disintegrate. And they're like,
I cannot wait for this company to fail. Crash and
Invasion of the
burn.
Body
I
Snatchers
actually
sort of.
just promoted Hank to president and CEO.
I want to meet Hank
Can
so bad.
can she be
He'll
Hank's
love you.
assistant? She's looking for some side work.
Listen, Hank is a very busy man right now. So,
Yeah, I bet.
But
Committing
anyway,
hate crimes all around Hollywood
totally
or whatever he
getting animal
does.
control
Oh my
product.
God.
Anyway. Does being a producer, does it add, like, does it take away? Is it hard to balance that when you're acting as well? Making these kind of decisions, or is it kind of quick decisions?
I'm learning a lot about producing. I think that it's a lot of being on the phone and a lot of using your contacts and a lot of, as a woman also, I'm
Allegedly.
allegedly a woman. I've said that like so many times today that like they'll just protest too much. We get it.
Yeah.
We get it. You're a woman.
Okay, sure.
Oh my God. But I grew up in the South where it was very much like, yes, sir. And whatever you want to say, sir. And like, it was very conservatively brought up. I mean, my parents were liberals, but liberals in the South, so I was kind of trained to be a really like big yes person and a people pleaser. So I'm learning now that I can trust my instincts here. Like I'll be on calls with like a bunch of guys, and maybe a few years ago I would be like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. And then I get off the phone and be like, that fucking idiot. You know what I mean? But now I'm like, no, don't wait for the phone to go up. No, say no, that's not right. I think I have a better idea. I have a better idea here. So it's really exciting to start embracing that. But I mean, it's not to say that I don't get pushback still
Oh,
from,
yeah, of
from
course.
people who are totally dumb, complete assholes who don't know what they're doing. But yeah, no, it's exciting. It's really fun to be able to like explore that other side of my career, because like I don't want to do anything else. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to go back to like working at the bagel store in South Carolina. Like I sure hope I can keep acting for the rest of my life and producing or whatever.
I believe that you're just getting started.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you.
Our friendship is still relatively new, but it's fun to watch where you're going, and I do think you're just getting started, and I'm looking forward to what you got going on.
Thank you.
You told us about something before you came in that we're not going to talk about, but things are going good.
Things are going really good. I'm
Yeah.
excited about this. This new project is on the dark side as well. So
Oh,
I'm very
boy.
excited.
We heard a little bit about it. You guys should be excited.
Yep.
And I want you to come promote things every time you have something on this show.
I would be more than happy to, and I
You're
hope.
truly one of our favorite people to have in here. It's always fun.
Thank you.
Well, both times.
Well, I love talking to you guys because I really, I'm gonna get all sappy, but I think that you're just great fucking people, and
But
you're
me
really,
more than her, do you think so? I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Evenly great,
No.
amazing.
I've never helped move a dresser though.
That's true. She couldn't. She's weak. I'm very, very strong.
But she does reach out to me all the time, and we have like
I
little
do.
conversations, and it's nice. And
that
we do
weird?
too,
Is
though.
that
No,
weird?
it's nice.
We do
That's nice.
too.
I'm fine with it.
We do too.
We
It's fine.
Ann and I do something really funny where she communicates as if she's Hank.
Yes.
We do role playing. Are we in a
Yes.
relationship? I don't know what we're doing. I think we're.
But no, I think Hank is in a
Hank is.
relationship with you. A very
But
dysfunctional
we
relationship.
have like a GIF exchange where we
Yes.
do GIFs back and forth, and she talks to me as Hank, and it's really really funny. We've done some.
We've done some
face swap.
animal talking like face things.
It's so funny.
I still have those. It's really good.
I have them all.
It's really good.
I might have to splice it together and put it out
think
on
you might have
Patreon
to.
as a little like
it's
side
really,
thing
really, really funny.
of Dan,
They-
Dan and Hank.
I sent them to Michael too, and Michael could not stop laughing. He was like,
So
"What
good.
the hell is going on? This is incredible."
At one point, I was like, "We're so stupid, but this is so funny. It's so
good.
funny."
Oh, it's like the heads when you like can
Yes,
talk on
and
your
you-
phone.
and-
and you
like
make
a
their
dog.
mouths move,
Yeah,
and then like you do their voices,
I'm not
and then
gonna
they
find it
like
now,
talk.
but-
Like I think I had Hank apologize to you. Is what
You
happened.
did. Wait a minute, that was you?
Oh shit!
Listen,
shit.
Hank.
No,
you-
that was Hank.
Oh, Hank, you
was
thought things were cool, brother. Things are not cool.
It was totally Hank. It was
I
me.
think we should record Hank and you. Hank
Well,
seen
I would do that. I would do that.
That
you
would
mean
be
fist
amazing.
fighting? Can we get to a ring and can I fight
no,
Hank?
and how he'd run to me. And,
he would win.
and hug me.
I'd be so hurt.
Oh, maybe we could do a thing, yeah, where you guys are in a room
we're like,
and you're on the same side, and we'll see like who he goes to.
That'd be fun, I guess.
That would be so neat.
Whatever,
We would love it.
whatever's good for the show, I guess I'll
I've
do
got
it.
like
You're so
jerky in my pockets.
Jerky for a jerk. That's what that would end up being, just jerky for a jerk. Because Hank's a jerk. He's mean to me.
Oh my lord!
All right, I'm sad, so we're
We
gonna end
know
this
a
now.
lot of the same people.
Here we go.
You know,
Heidi's name drop.
It's no name drop.
She isn't afraid.
I like this
Drop
one.
those names, kinda lame.
But we do. I was just making fun. But we do.
Heidi's name.
I'll listen to it again. I love it. I love it when that happens.
She has like all kinds of songs.
Because I like the voice and I like the whole like thing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Do you wanna hear
It's
my favorite
great.
one?
Yeah.
So Heidi, she's a little bit into conspiracies. Things are getting a little out of control. But I want to play one for you.
Tell me.
This one's really great.
Things are coming true.
Conspiracy Corner. I read it online, so it must be true. Conspiracy Corner.
This is great.
I heard it from a friend of a friend of a friend. Conspiracy Corner. This story is real, I can tell by the way that I feel.
I mean, come on. We have some of the best fans in the world who
He's so
submit these
good.
things.
I want to carry that around with me on my phone
I'll text it to
and
you.
play it to people's
I'll text it to you.
faces when they start saying shit that
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Because
Can
I'm
you
like,
please?
I just feel it. I feel it in my gut. Like,
did you
There's
hear
no
about the
proof, but I
thing?
know
Did you
it's
hear-
true.
but I know it's true.
Oh my God, that's
So good.
genius.
He's brilliant.
That's really
You got a
good.
few of
And then
them,
there's
but-
one like at the end, like I just asked you. I said, "Oh, we know a lot." Like, I
Here it
can't
is.
end. It's like I think it's a Wisconsin thing where we can't end things. Like we're like, so anyhow,
You're
like,
like,
we're like,
yeah.
okay, we're done. I'm like,
Almost-
And then you're like, but then there's that one time.
Almost every week,
We've never.
I say goodbye. I literally, we said, okay, thanks to you. We'll tune in next week. And she goes, have you seen that Tom Cruise did this thing? And so our buddy Kuhn wrote this one too.
We're almost done with the show, but Heidi's got a story to tell. She had a chance for an hour, but had to wait until Dan said goodbye to us all.
I mean, the best.
We love Coon.
The best.
Wow, so you must really do that a lot.
Every week.
me too.
Every.
I just don't want it to end.
Should we have one more story then from Heidi?
Go ahead, Heidi.
No.
Well, let me say goodbye first.
Okay, say bye.
I want to thank, and sincerely thank you for coming and doing this. It is so fun
Did
talking
you
to
hear
you.
about the Chinese balloons?
Heidi's got a story to tell. She had a chance for an hour, had to wait until Dan said goodbye to us all.
Everyone, please go see Anna's new film, From Black. It comes out tomorrow. Comes out Friday, April 28th. Very impressed as a horror fan. I give my stamp of approval.
Where does it come out?
Where does it come out?
It comes out on Shudder, by the way, which is a horror exclusive channel, which is fantastic.
And AMC Plus.
AMC Plus.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yep,
Good call.
yep.
Good call. And if you're a horror fan, you should be subscribed to Shudder anyway. But if you're not, even go for just a month to watch this film for real.
Thank
Will it be
you.
at the theater as well?
No, we're petitioning for it to be,
It should.
and that's what we're all still trying to get it
I don't
done.
understand
We're
why
like,
it wouldn't, but I mean, it's a Shudder original, right?
it's a Shudder. Well, it's a Shudder original, but I think we don't really know what happened because they were kind of promising us when we all made the deal or whatever that it was going to go into a select amount of theaters, like maybe The Watcher did, because that was AMC Plus and Shudder as well. But something happened with their model of like putting things out there where they're just not doing it as much.
A theater would be a great experience, but still,
still
people
great,
are just
though.
they're not going to movies like they used to. So, but it would be fun to see it there. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to have a massive effect on how many people
No.
see this thing.
I think most
people are
people
going to find it.
have bigger
Okay.
screens too.
Oh,
Do you know what
yeah.
I mean? And even if
Yeah.
I saw it on a tiny screen, it would still like hold the impact it did. Because
Okay, that's good. I hope
it's
people
visually so beautiful.
Duncan Cole, cinematographer.
Yeah,
Just the
it really is
best.
stunning, and the sound design, the music was great. Who did the music?
Oh gosh, I don't know the name right now, but Thomas Marchese, the director, was like in the room, like editing it, and had so much input on the music. I mean, this is like, I'm so like, he's amazing. He's so dedicated, and he was so. This is his baby. You know what I mean? Of
Even
a
in the
film.
beginning, like when it starts and that music. Remember, I was like,
of
"Holy
course.
shit! I'm terrified already."
It opens on this, this shot of like the town, but it's so beautiful, and the sound design, the music, and the picture all go together great. You guys really did a great job.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, and I really urge people to go see From Black. And you can find Anna Camp on all the social medias. Is it Real Anna Camp?
At the real Anna Camp. I should change that. I
Yeah.
know, it's so silly. I got that 500 years ago because there were some Anna Camps
I have a
out
suggestion.
there.
At Anna Camp Dog Birther.
I bet that's not taken yet.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
So
Pretty sure it's wide open.
I'll try.
Please come back again. These are a blast.
Thank you for having me.
We love you. We don't have a whole lot of two-timers. People usually come once and never want to come back. So thank you very much for being here.
I love hanging out with you guys.
Great. You're welcome anytime.
Thank
Even if you have
you.
nothing to promote. If you want to come hang out. If
Thank
you're bored or
you.
if you and Michael are fighting, you can just come
Never,
over.
never.
You
We are
never.
madly in love.
Don't
If
fuck
you have a
this up.
conspiracy
I'm not.
you want to talk to me about,
Do you like
yeah, I
conspiracies?
kind of want to know.
No, you don't. You don't.
I feel like you have some like things up your sleeve, conspiracy theories that you want to like talk about. Oh God.
We can't do it.
Should we
just so
say
you
goodbye?
know, this new full moon is going to be the best.
Guys,
a
it's
new
been
moon.
great.
When is the moon? When is it? I believe in this stuff. Tonight?
Yeah, it's
Tomorrow
tomorrow
night?
night.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow
and
night.
it's a pink moon. It's going to be amazing.
You mean it's gay? A gay
And I'll
moon?
send
It's a
you-
girl
and I'll-
moon.
That's what I meant.
and I'll-
What did I say? Gay?
Yeah.
I meant girl.
Shut.
I'm putting all my
Hey,
crystals
guys can
outside.
work-
I have
Yeah.
crystals. I put them
No, you're not.
outside.
Me too. I
Look at
washed.
me.
I washed them in the moon.
Hold on one second. Look me in the eye.
I'm looking at you directly
No, you're not.
in
You're
the
looking
eye.
Look me.
No.
Look me.
Are you a crystal person?
Yeah.
All right, we're done here.
I
The
am.
fucking the stars
It's so
and
good.
crystals.
They work, man.
What do they do for you?
They freaking work.
What do they do?
They.
I'll be open. I was gonna rap, but I'm gonna be open now with my mind, with this up here. What do the crystals do for you?
I don't like. I can't explain.
Ah.
I know I can't explain to you like pinpointing you like, oh, this happened because that happened with this crystal.
Okay.
It's like more of an energy. Whenever I've gotten one, I've received them as gifts from people at certain times in my life where I needed one. I didn't like ask for this crystal. I like walked into like a crystal shop once and like had a whole like psychic meeting with a woman, and she told me everything, and then it really all did happen, and I took away this crystal that she like pointed me to, but it was things have happened, and like I feel a certain weight being lifted off when I hold certain ones. Listen,
If that's what it
if
does,
it's
that's worth it.
working for
Yep.
me, then
Because we have a gift for you.
Is it a crystal?
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
We have the very rare. It's a Ricola crystal from the mountains of Arizona. And we wrapped it. It's wrapped
Thank
in wrapping
you.
paper, but that's
Like a sack.
Yeah. It's like this one is named Hank, and it's a Ricola
you.
crystal, and that's from us to you.
Thank you. I'm gonna bathe this one in the
Yeah.
moon.
Perfect timing.
To recharge
In the
it.
pink moon. I'm gonna send you
Perfect.
photos
Oh,
of the moon
thank you
bathing.
so
my
much.
Ricola
Thank you
crystal.
so
No,
much.
thank you. Are you kidding? No, thank you.
No, obviously we've never given crystals to anybody, so like
Wow.
that shows you just what kind of regard we hold you in.
Damn.
Also, if you
guys are
have
special.
cards, tarot cards, you can put them in the moon. Like
Almost done with the show.
I'm sorry, that was an accident. What were you
Sorry,
saying?
what were you saying? Because I'm into this.
you can put them under the moon as well and wash them.
What
and
is
so
it?
it clears
Tarot.
away the
Tarot cards.
Yeah,
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I've had mine since I was like 18, and they're wrapped in my.
And look at all the
grandmother's
luck it
old,
brings
like,
you.
No, they're really. Listen, why are you so afraid? What are
I'm-
you so afraid of?
I'm afraid of self-help.
Hold on. Did you ever hear the story of when he was a young boy and his bed was
Oh, we told it to
up
her.
in the air?
We
right?
talked about it when she was on the show.
We did talk about this.
Okay,
Yes.
but and then last night or yesterday, what happened?
Oh, I didn't tell my wife Darren this. I was editing an episode of the podcast, and I took a break just to kind of like rest my ears and rest my eyes, and I kept hearing. And I heard it once. It sounded like it's in the room with me. Like a man's breath, and I heard it 10 times, and I walked around trying to pinpoint where it was. It was always the same volume no matter where I went, like it was near me. But it was nothing. It's a creaky old building. It was,
it was. I know who it was.
what?
It was Hank.
No! No! He's not even dead, but he's haunting me? He's a separate like, ghost
He has
soul?
that puppy breath.
Actually, no, because his soul died at birth because he's been like Pet Cemetery thing and like I do want to. One second.
Oh my god.
It reminds me of
Oh fuck.
what? There was a moment when. Yes! That was a great one. I got you last time. Heidi just reminded me.
You need to show her what happened
I had a
last
plan.
night.
I was gonna say
Oh
to you.
my God.
Thank you.
I was not. I thought you would never do that again because, like, you would never do that again.
And next time you come, I won't do it either.
My fucking
What I-
shoulder went up through my ear.
You're gonna send us the invoice. I was gonna tell you at the beginning of the episode that I was gonna scare you at some point, just to be waiting for it.
I'm glad
Would that have
you-
been worse?
That would have been worse because then
So I'll
I
do
would
that
have
next
been
time.
thinking
Told
about
you.
it the
told
entire
you.
interview, and I wouldn't have been able to really let go and like think. So
Did you catch it?
and talk.
Did you get it? Oh,
I thought you were dipping into something serious.
fuck! We
and
didn't
I
get it on
fucking went
camera.
to you.
Yep, we didn't get it on camera.
I'm an
Ha
expert. I'm an expert cinematographer, and you fucked that shit
I know.
up.
Oh well.
Karma is a
Serious.
bitch.
He scared me
Karma.
last night, and I threw my.
Yes!
Oh my god!
Fucking yes! Did I get it that time?
I think I wet my pants.
Why?
Can you imagine living with him for
Yes,
15,
and
15
I don't know
years?
how you do it. That's awful.
Because if she leaves me, I'll fucking kill her.
Whoa! That's the scariest thing I've ever heard.
Hey, I can act too, you know.
Oh my god! Wait, did I tell this story the last time I was
What
on
bitch?
Fucking little fucking.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Did I tell this story when I was here the last time? I don't think I did. I told it on another podcast a long time ago. So I got scared by my dad once. So this is some terrible story, but hysterical. So my dad had this really weird like vampire mask thing that
like
he
'em.
got as like in college or something, but he like had it around and like we would all put it on as little kids for Halloween, like these little girls with this like giant vampire thing on. It was around Halloween, and my parents' phone was ringing, and I was like somehow getting something out of my mom's like closet. I go to pick up the phone, and I say hello, and I have no idea who called, but my dad snuck up behind me wearing the mask and screamed like boo, and I screamed so loud and I was so scared that I farted. And then I was so scared, but then I was so embarrassed and so
How old were you?
mad. I mean, I was probably in like Fifth grade? I don't know. 5th or 6th grade?
Oh, that's so
I
funny.
was so mad at him, and he was laughing like the way you guys are. He took the mat crying, laughing, and I was so mad.
Humiliated because being scared is embarrassing.
Mortified that I had farted
on your
top of
father.
it.
The person on the phone heard.
And the person on the phone, I don't even know now, but like that story, I can see the room, I can see what I was wearing,
You can
I can
smell
see
it.
I can smell the fart. I think it was more loud than it was.
Of course,
you
of
know.
course. The louder it is, the less it
The
smells.
less
Everyone
it
knows
smells. So for real though, I've never forgotten that. I will never not think of that. So you're really lucky that I didn't just fart.
that. I feel unlucky because that would have been even better. Next time. Next time. That needs to be in a film sometime.
You didn't scare me then if I didn't fart.
Oh, okay. Challenge accepted.
Oh, no.
Challenge accepted. Okay, for real. Anna, thank you so much for coming. We
you.
love you very, very much.
Love you guys.
From Black in theaters April 28th. And if you're listening to this years down the road, go find it.
On Shudder.
Get it on a torrent.
Yeah.
Steal it somewhere. Whatever you got to do to see this
Say
movie.
torrents?
A torrent.
AMC
Yeah,
Plus.
go to
and Shudder.
Torrance. Go to Torrance, California. You can get it in Torrance, California. No. Thank you.
Thank you.
We love you.
Love you.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
This is Lola, and I'm here to tell the world to stop being such pussies and listen to Rare Form Radio.